Today is a peaceful and sunny day here in Lake Harbor, just on the cusp of Lake Okeechobee. And we start out our day at the South Central Florida Express Trestle Bridge at Miami Canal Road on our way to Clewiston. This weekend, Clewiston's Sugar Express excursion train service would be hosting a special private photo charter event with US Sugar Steam Locomotive number 148. As a tribute to Henry Flagler's Speedway to Sunshine, the steam locomotive would be dressed up in her original as-built 1920s Florida East Coast Railway colors. The engine would pull matching passenger cars as well as empty sugarcane cars at various locations of interest all across US Sugar and South Central Florida Express's trackage. I arrived into Clewiston just before noon, but alas, I wasn't able to locate the special train. I ventured out into Clewiston's cane fields, and while I wasn't able to locate the steam excursion, I did manage to encounter a few US Sugar cane jobs on Evercane Road and at Clewiston's North End shops. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Casual Rail Fan, signing. It's the wee hours of the morning on this cool Earth Day Sunday, and after a failed attempt to catch the 148 the previous day, I decided to try again today starting at Clewiston's North End shops. And this time I made sure to arrive by 6:30 a.m., just as the crew at FMW Solutions prepared the locomotive for departure. To my surprise, the 148 was once again wearing the 1980s to 1990s era whistle from Norfolk and Western J-Class number 611. As soon as the 148 pulled forward, the eager rail fans began lining up to grab their photos of the marvelous machine. At last, I finally had a clear view of the locomotive's paint scheme, and as US Sugar number 148, now FEC 148, glided by, it certainly felt like a scene from the 1920s, and the folks in the paint booth did not disappoint. After the 148 reversed, I was pleasantly surprised to see it hook up to the same string of cane cars that I had seen at the North End shops the previous day. Even though it was good to see the 148 pulling passengers again on excursion trains, I was beginning to miss seeing the 148 lead cane jobs. As the 148 and crew began photo ops, I made sure to move far away from any photo lines, and the 148 put on quite a show with plenty of steam from the cylinders, and the sun was just now beginning to rise. The top of the 148's tender once again bore the lettering for the Florida East Coast Railway's FLAGLER system. Since the 148's construction in 1920, the locomotive served the FEC, pulling passengers and fast freight throughout Henry Flagler's famous Speedway to Sunshine, including the fabled Overseas Railway. The locomotive would then be sold to US Sugar in Clewiston in 1952 and then again in 2016 for a thorough restoration. The FEC is now a freight company served mostly by General Electric diesel power, and some units use liquefied natural gas. Today, the 148's wheels were painted all black, and gone were the white walls. The smoke box was also painted much darker than usual, nearly matching up with the rest of the paint. At the side of the headlight was a different font for the road number, and this weekend marked the return of 148's single beam headlight after running with a brighter double beam for several months. And I could clearly see the Clater's famous whistle mounted on the steam dome, and the air pump began knocking away. With some light wheel slip, the 148's crew prepared to depart, but so did the crew of another cane job at the North End shops. With the passengers boarded and the whistle blowing, the photo charter special was overtaken by USSC number 506 before proceeding forward just around 7:30 a.m. Making its debut this weekend was the Sugar Express's Clewiston, a former Pennsylvania Railroad observation car, refurbished just in time for the photo charter, and was a perfect fit for FEC 148 given the era. Just outside Clewiston Sugar Mill, the 148 stopped briefly for a switch to be thrown before proceeding east, and the cane job with USSC number 506 followed behind. Now let's follow FEC number 148 to Evercane Road. Minutes later on that same road, I encountered yet another cane job bound for Bryant on a different line. met up with 148's train again, just east of Miami Canal Road in Lake Harbor. Here, the passengers had disembarked the train, and the train would reverse and leave its passenger cars to conduct some photo freight ops. The train would proceed forward at this location several times with a lot of stack talk, smoke, and whistle. Being well away from the photo line, I thought this was a nice opportunity to break out the drone for a bit for a bird's eye view. It was a good thing I landed the drone soon after, as during this next photo run by, I observed a classic yellow plane in the sky. I'm not a plane guy, but I believe that this was a crop duster. It didn't take long to realize that this was in fact part of the photo charter experience, with a classic train and a classic plane. Pretty neat, I'd say. After the final run by here, the 148 was ready to pick up the passengers for the next photo run by at the Trestle Bridge near Miami Canal Road. For the first run by, I stayed at the same location for a distance shot, and I could clearly see the controlled crop fires in the distance. During the next run by, I ventured closer to the bridge, again well away from any photo lines. And as the 148 crossed the bridge, it was overseas railway vibes for a brief moment. With the happy passengers picked up, the train stopped briefly by the crossing before heading back west, making for a final opportunity to grab some of my own photos. And within minutes, the train was on its way back to Clewiston. I had always wanted to see the 148 in her original colors, and with a bit of persistence, I'm glad I got the opportunity to do so. I'd like to thank the folks at US Sugar, Sugar Express, and FMW Solutions for making this event and all other events with the 148 possible, and for doing a bang-up job on 148's paint. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Casual Railfan, signing out.